All right, hello everybody. I'm going to be doing the FIFA World Cup 2026 predictions for Group I. Here we have featuring Senegal, France, Norway, and Iraq. So starting off with Senegal, they're AFCON winners. We've seen how their squad has, gotten stronger and stronger over the years. Lots of League One talents, lots of players that are outside of Senegal that are not representing Senegal that are like of Senegal origin. France in the same group as them have some African players, but for the representation that they have, you know, they've managed to win the AFCON, um, and basically you know, in the World Cup they got 6 points last time, and this time they're given the group of death. They have Pap Gay, they have Nicholas Jackson, Mane, uh, a lot of the defenders they have like Bunasar, I think he's very good. Edward Mendy, lots of talent, and I think this time they will do even better than 2022 World Cup. But France is a lot better than Netherlands too. They probably have the best squad depth in the entire tournament. I would say that with players like Desiree Doué, Dembele, Mbappe, uh, Mateta, who's doing good at Crystal Palace, becomes like their fifth choice striker. So much depth. Uh, Back-to-back finalists. They won one and they got second place. Um, doing the brackets separately, I don't think France is going to finish below semifinals. Only a team like Spain can take them out. Um, Third place at least for France. They're just such a top tier side. Uh, Probably the most success in Europe. With their plays domestically. And then Norway have surprised a lot of people from embarrassing Italy, tying Switzerland recently, and then losing narrowly to Netherlands. They're a side that's featuring in this tournament after 28 years, and they complete this group of death. They make it such a exciting group, and with 48 teams in this tournament, I kind of think the concept of group of death has been kind of wiped out because any team can create some noise and get results. But honestly, Group I is the group of death. Um, I think that Norway can potentially create a lot of noise in this group, and basically, best third place. I would say they'd be the number one third place side. I'm very excited for this group I. And moving on to Iraq, um, they have their own interesting story with their second appearance, and under coach Graham Arnold, who was phenomenal in 2022 with Australia. They beat Denmark and Tunisia 1-0, and they also had France, and France battered them 4-1. Um, Senegal, Norway are another African and European side, so it's a very similar group for Arnold himself specifically, except they're much better than Denmark, Tunisia. And if you're going to get battered by France, and your Iraq side is a bit weaker than Australia because he had that J League connection. Now he's got a couple Iraqis in the J League that he's calling up, and they might have a good defensive performance, but I cannot see them put more than 3 points on this table. And it'd be a bad third place. They really don't have much hope, and you can't blame them. They're working with what they got. They got the likes of Ipswich Town striker Ali Al Hamadi, Ayman Hussein, who did not step his foot in Europe, but a very ambitious local striker who has had a tough upbringing, with some of the things that happened in the Middle East. He's never gave up on football. Definitely, what he did in the Asian Cup is not one we will forget. I do think that Jordan match was a bit of a disservice to them. Who knows? If they went far, they would have won that Asian Cup. And they had a different coach then, but it seems like whatever coach they get, these guys are a very talented group of players to work with. And in the World Cup, they're not going to go down without putting up a fight. Even with the 0 points they get, they're not going to be a side that scores 0 goals. You know, um, Yusuf Amin, Zidane Iqbal, Manchester United product, Hussein Ali at the right back, Putros. Um, also half of the team is Chaldean, and the Chaldeans are a small percentage of Iraq. They have uh, things that about them that are subjective, that you like. But objectively, I think their best player you would be it would be Zidane Iqbal, Yusuf Amin, and Ali Ahmadi, with a respectable honorable mention of Ayman Hussein. This is a side that can have some threat, but not much hope in this group of death. The other three teams, because usually when you have scenarios like this, three teams can share 5, 6, 7 points sometimes. They beat the other one and then they draw the other two. That's like 5 pointer case. Um, but over here I made it a bit more like diverse here, and that's how you end up with 7-5-4-0. And I'm gonna show what individual predictions led to that. So with match day one, um, France Senegal historically beat France 1-0. It makes sense to say that okay they're gonna get revenge. We have a lot of rematches in this tournament. People kind of tend to think like this. We have an alternative like this where Senegal gets six. They got six in the last World Cup. France gets seven. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and actually put it here instead of 3-3. A thriller is possible, right? I just think two pacey sides. France is the king of all depth. Substitutions they make late on, I think they can put it in the last minute and defeat Senegal 1-0. A very hard fought, a loss for Senegal, or like a hard fought draw. Um, yeah, I mean I wouldn't be surprised if Senegal draw France. It wouldn't be a shocker. It'd be a shocker if they upset them. Yeah, Senegal getting 9 points is actually silly. Uh, I think it's gonna be a 2-2 draw or a 2-1 win to France. Yeah, I don't know how people would take this one. Um, I'm gonna say 2-1 to France, and no, we're not gonna touch this. Yeah, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 to France or 2-2. I'll say 2-1 to France. We'll stick with this one. Norway, Iraq. I think Erling Haaland against El Hamadi and Hussein. I think they'll create some noise, but lose 3-2. Right? I don't know. I'm gonna say 1-0, just to highlight the fact that Iraq defended so well, but they just could not help but concede. And France Senegal, I'm gonna say it's a 3-2 match, and I'm gonna say this one's a 2-1. Yeah. Senegal Iraq in the match day two. Okay. I think if Iraq has a chance, it'd be against the African side. Um, I don't know, because a lot of these teams play in the Arab Cup, maybe not with their best squad. There is that like uh I mean Senegal's not an Arab nation, but people talk about Jordan Algeria. Jordan's best chance to upset would be in that match. I it's not there's not much context to it, but I think Iraq is gonna defend really hard and lose 1-0 late on, right? And all of these things are losses that they fought hard. France, Norway, uh, I think Norway's gonna lose 2-1. Yeah, it does look like France gets 9 points because what is Iraq gonna do in the final match? They're gonna get battered in two consolation goals. Senegal, Norway, I think that's gonna be a draw. Yeah, so it seems like it's gonna be 9-4-4-0. I kind of changed my mind about making it a bit diverse. Um, I mean, what if these guys win late on? I think Senegal Norway is actually gonna be really, really tight. And then maybe if we want to make it diverse, we have to say Senegal upsets France or Senegal draws France. Yeah, I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw for Senegal France. Senegal Norway a draw, and then Senegal beats Iraq. right? A lot of these matches between France, Senegal, and Norway are very hard to predict, and they're going to be very tight. But yeah, that is it. First place, France. Senegal, second place. Norway, the best third place. Because if you get third place with 4 points in a group of death like this, you got a solid attack and defense. They balance each other out. 5 goals scored, five conceded. Uh, maybe not the best, but top four easily. And Iraq go home, holding their heads up high. I mean, if you actually score two against France, hold Senegal to the last minute, let's say like Mane scores late on, and then get a narrow loss against Norway. I don't think it's that bad as much as the end result shows. So yeah, that is it, guys, and thank you guys for watching.